What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about AR-15s. And since it's the first of the year and a lot of you guys are out there trying to find your new rifle, I figured it would be a great time to talk about the 5 best rifles that I've ever had in each price point. That way, if you're looking for a $500 gun, you can find something you like, or maybe you're looking for a $2,500 gun and you can find something you like as well. Now, I've had a lot of experience with AR-15s on the channel. As a matter of fact, I've owned over 50 in my life, so I have a good knowledge of the pros and cons of each price point and some of the best rifles in each one. Now, I will preface ahead of time that I've had a lot more experience with the low end of things than the high end. I've had dozens of rifles under the $1,000 price point, and I've only had a couple that are over $3,000. So we're gonna be a little weak on that side, but we're going to be pretty strong on the 500, 2,500, which is what I think most people are going to be looking for anyway. Now, I should preface, if you're interested in a home defense gun, but you're not sure about an AR-15, I personally believe that that rifle is the best tool for self-defense, at least in the United States. If it's available for you to purchase, I think you probably should. They're one of the most reliable weapons out there that you can use. They're one of the most affordable now as well, because many companies use them. Obviously, you've been used by the United States military for over 60 years now, which absolutely proves its worth in my personal opinion. They're fast, they're accurate, they're low recoil, they're more power than a handgun, they're easier to use than a shotgun. So they're a really good middle of the road if you're gonna pick a gun for self-defense or home defense, and the conditions are right for you to have one. My personal favorite rifle, that's why I've had over 50 of them. Now, with that being said, let's get right into it with number 5 here, and this is a recent addition. However, I've had several in the past, and this is gonna be the PSA 15 from Palmetto State Armory. Now, these guys have been sort of legendary in the budget market. Not only I've tested these, but many reviewers have tested these, and many people in law enforcement and military have also owned these and been very happy with them. As far as the budget rifles go, there are many to choose from Radical Firearms to Delton, but the reality is PSA is probably the most known and probably the most reliable, and honestly made probably of the best parts. Now, this gun in particular is an 11.5, although I have also had a 14.5, and then I did also have a 9-inch 300 blackout. I did have some problems with the 300 blackout, but all the 5.56 guns I have had no issues whatsoever. On top of that, I've seen many videos on them where they have done very well, obviously including Grand Thumb's video, where he had several thousand rounds to them with no real issues. My personal experience, though, is what I base my videos off of, and we got this gun for $380. It came with an M-LOK rail, it came with mostly mil-spec parts, came with a good trigger, and overall, this is a usable home defense platform, basically out of the box at $380, which is pretty freaking hard to beat. Also being the most affordable AR-15 pistol that we found on the market. If you're looking for a home defense gun, I would absolutely recommend the 11.5. It's short, it's light, it's got good dwell time, it's reliable, and it can even be pushed out to 200, 300, or even 500 yards if you know what you're doing. So overall, I would consider this probably the best home defense gun for the money. I think the PSA really has proved itself over the past year. I think their innovation and their direct customer stuff really cuts down on cost. And although I love Radical, don't get me wrong, and I love a lot of other companies, I feel if I was going to choose one for myself for home defense that's under $500, I think the Palmetto 11.5 is the way I would go. Now, on top of that, we did use them with FRTs. They worked really well. And in the first shots, we piled 700 rounds through this in a row without any issues. And I got to say, for a $380 gun, that's pretty impressive. Now, at the $500 to the $1,000 mark, there are a vast amount of ARs that are great. So if I don't pick your personal brand, don't worry, it's probably okay. Springfield makes some good guns in that price point. Ruger makes some good guns in that price point, but my personal favorite is going to be the Smith. I've had the Generation 1 Sport, I've had the Generation 2, and now the Generation 3, and all of them have been unbelievably reliable and come with good parts from the factory for a phenomenal price. It's a hair step up from the Palmetto line, in my personal opinion, in durability, in reliability, and honestly in shootability as well. Although the Palmetto is probably the most affordable home defense gun I would recommend, if you're looking for a gun that is going to last you a lifetime, but you want to spend under $1,000, the Smith has a great track record. It comes from an amazing company, and it has a great warranty as well. We have absolutely shot the shit out of that gun. We almost have 2,000 rounds through it now, and we'll have a review shortly, but here's my mini review. It kicks ass, and if you see one, you should probably pick one up. The one I have has a 16-inch barrel, has has a mid-length gas system, an M-LOK rail. It comes with standard features, but most people change those anyway. And as far as the accuracy goes, the gun is around 2 MOA, and it shot almost 2,000 rounds with no reliability issues whatsoever. And I don't live in Tennessee. Here it gets cold, it gets hot, it gets dirty, it gets dusty. It's a tough place to live over here in Iowa, so I need my ARs to be hardy, and the Smith & Wesson is exactly that for less than $1,000. Now, 1,000 to 1,500 is where a lot of my experience resides. There are tons of good guns at that price point, again, between SIG, CMMG, and many others, but my pick for that is going to be Bravo Company, and I don't think that will surprise most people. I think overall it's one of the best AR-15s ever made, and probably the most reliable one I've ever tested. If you want to get a high quality AR that will last you an absolute lifetime, and that's all you're concerned with, that's the price point you need to be at, the $1,000 to $1,500 price point, because BCM makes rifles that special forces operators use, law enforcement operators use, and all kinds of competitive shooters as well. The guns are reliable, accurate, they're soft shooting, and they are the most reliable rifles that I've ever tested. They're also made in the Midwest, which makes me very happy, and the guys over at BCM are great people. Not only is it veteran owned, and they try to help out the 2A community, but they are known far and wide to make the highest quality rifles for the lowest cost. If you're getting a BCM rifle, I would recommend pretty much any barrel length you want. Personally, again, I love the 11.5s and I love the 12.5s, but they make a phenomenal 14.5, they make a 16 and 18, and they make all kinds of parts and accessories, which I use on my rifles as well, so you can get out of the factory, kit it out just the way you like it. You want to go a touch above that, and we're going to get in the $1,500 to maybe the $2,500 category now, and my pick for that is going to be Geisley. Now, I will admit that I have less experience with that than I do the more affordable guns, so if you guys have a better pick, hell, you might be right, although I have had quite a few of those as well. And Geisley is a brand that not only is known for excellence, but it's known for reliability, durability, and is currently one of the rifles used by U.S. Special Forces. The only difference really between the BCM and the Geisley is the features that you get out of the box. The trigger is going to be better on the Geisley out of the box as well, since they are arguably the best triggers on the market, and they do in fact shoot a little bit softer than the BCM. Now, there's some pros and cons to that in my personal opinion, because if you got a lot of stuff in your gun, if you're dealing with mud, sand, dirt, all that kind of stuff, I like to have a gun a little overgassed like BCM, because I know it'll shoot that shit out like a rock star. That being said, for everyday regular use, the Geisley is a little bit softer, it is a little bit faster, and arguably, at least in track record, just as reliable. It also comes with an amazing rail, and it does come with an incredible trigger and set of furniture. Now, it's going to be up to really personal preference whether you want the BCM or whether you want the Geisley, because they're both going to be so reliable, you can't really make a bad decision, and they're both also going to last you long enough to give it down to your grandson. Now, lastly, we're going to get into the $3,000 to $5,000 category, where I honestly think about 1% of you watching is probably going to care. Because as far as AR-15s go, you do get some diminishing returns, but it really takes a special kind of person to want the perfect thing. And if you pay $3,000 for a rifle, you are going to get absolute excellence. Whether you get it from JP, whether you get it from Cobalt, or whether you build your own, or whether you get my personal pick here, which is again, the Mustang armament. What you're going to get over all the other guns is you're going to get all the features you want, because you're going to be able to choose it out of the box for the most part. I mean, this gun can be built to you at your specs. So all you have to do is tell them exactly what you want, and they'll hook you up. You're also going to get the absolute smoothest rifle possible. This is the smoothest 12.5 I've ever shot. And with guns like this, like the Mustang armament, for example, all the internals are DLC coated. So it's going to be reliable longer. You're going to need to clean it way less, and it's going to be way smoother when you shoot it. It also has an adjustable buffer system, which isn't for everybody, but if you know how to use it, it's smoother, it's faster, it feels better when you shoot it, gives you that wonderful feeling when you pile off those 1-second build drills. The triggers are going to be excellent, the furniture is going to be excellent, and you can also get custom coatings like you do with Mustang armament here. Running a 12.5 design like this makes it short and light enough for use for home defense, but it also makes it able to reach out and touch stuff at almost 700 yards. This gun here shoots 1 MOA or less, so you're going to get an extremely accurate barrel. This has a spiral fluted cold hammer forged barrel with, again, a custom gas system at the mid-length, so you're going to get the softest shooting rifle possible, but because it's tuned perfectly and the guy who made it knows what he's doing, the gun has been absolutely reliable as well. So if you want the fastest, most accurate possible rifle on the planet, maybe the $3,000 to $5,000 price point is your ticket. If you don't want the Mustang and you're looking for other quality rifles, I would probably recommend JP as a competitor to this. JP makes incredible rifles in their own right. I hope this video helped you out, and I hope it at least steers you in a direction to find a new home defense gun. That's all we're really doing here after all. All we want to do is arm good people to help you protect yourself. I hope my videos do that, and again, want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank you for 10 years of the best job ever. I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. Please help out your Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.